Agriculture is the bedrock upon which rural and urban communities depend for its development. During the colonial period, efforts were made between 1861 to 1960 to develop the sector with the establishment of a research station in Lagos by Sir Claude MacDonald in 1893. More plantation in Ibadan by the British Cotton Growing Association (BCGA) in 1899, amongst others, until independence. Based on this achievement, Nigeria was regarded as an agricultural economy.
At some point, we were earning well over 65% of our revenue from agriculture. If you remember very well, at that time, the north had groundnut, the west had the cocoa, and the east had the oil palm, and we were doing very, very well.
According to statistics, the sector contributed to the country's GDP an estimate of 60% in 1960s, employing about 35.2% into the labor force and 32% in 2000. After Nigeria's independence in 1960, the sector has been transformed by commercialization of crops such as beans, cashew nut, cassava, cocoa beans, groundnut, gum arabic, kola nut, palm oil, rubber, amongst others, at a small, medium, and large-scale enterprise level.
Little moment before now, things were very, very, very much bad because we import so much food. But with the current trend that we are experiencing, and with the effort of the present government, the president, and the current Minister of Agriculture, who is doing a yeoman's job, I think we are getting better. We are coming up in terms of agriculture. We are improving in rice production. We are coming up in cassava production, pepper, oil palm. I can see little encouragement from the government, though it's still much meager to what is required.
In 1970, agricultural sector suffered neglect during the heydays of the oil boom, causing a drift from rural areas in the country to urban settlement in search for white-collar jobs.
Right from the time when we are youth, we know the basic things that Nigeria produce and what transport abroad is what? Agriculture. It happens to be our sole aim of what? Economy then. But literally now, we can see that agriculture is going to the what? To the level that is we don't have more to do. All our youth are about to do what? White-collar job.
It could be recalled that schemes such as the Operation Feed the Nation (OFN) program introduced by the erstwhile military regime of Olusegun Obasanjo in 1976, the Green Revolution program under Alhaji Shehu Shagari, and Directorate for Food, Roads and Rural Infrastructure (DFRRI) under General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, and presently Agricultural Transformation Agenda under President Goodluck Jonathan are introduced to increase the numbers of the nation's farmers and raise the people's awareness of the key roles of agriculture in an economy. Comparing Nigeria's agricultural sector to others, it is believed that setbacks occurred due to inadequate investment, lack of proper storage facility, and qualified personnel. These experts called on government to bring back the old days where importance was placed on agriculture.
All things being used in the farm are old tools. We need to implement new tools. There are some tractors that can cultivate acres of land within 2-3 days, and then farming will improve. But the problem is, we hear there is manual here today, tractor here tomorrow, but is it really getting to the people at the grass level? It's not.
Most of these things that are getting wasted, in some other countries, they have a way of keeping tomatoes, that they have fresh tomatoes throughout the year, no glut, no surplus. There are in some places they have a way that they keep fresh maize, no glut, no surplus. But here in Nigeria, You have time that you waste everything, and you have time that you don't even see anything.
But now we're looking at agriculture from value chain approach. That's what we're doing now, trying to develop all the value chain. We call it from farm to fork.
To revive the agricultural sector, all hands must be on deck. While government has been urged to stop its overdependence on oil and ensure it invests in the sector, the citizens, especially the youth, have also been admonished to contribute their quota to develop the agricultural sector.